Hi everyone, Coach Amaka here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk unhealthy attachments. Unhealthy attachments occurs when you are unhealthily attaching to a person that does not mean well for you. When you are attaching to a promise or to a hope of what this person could be to you or should be to you or might have been to you. Unhealthy attachment happens when you are refusing to let go, even secretly. You know your friends are going to eat you up if you should tell them the truth. And you don't want to admit that you're still attached to this person. I like it when someone can be honest. I have this friend who is telling me about their own friend, and he says that the guy is saying, I don't want to move on from my ex. They've been divorced. He cannot move on. He wants to get remarried because he believes in marriage. He just don't want to be like, oh, I couldn't find a woman to marry. And he also did not believe that he's the bad guy. I don't know him that well, so I can't tell. And he believes that the woman did him dirty. So, his ex-wife. And then he wants to remarry just so that he has a replacement. But in reality, he's still unhealthily attached to her. He can't let go. He does not want to let go. He prefers her. He prefers to be back with her. But there's a lot that happened between them that even if they should get back together, either herself or himself will not be able to survive the relationship only because of things that both of them had gone through that led to the divorce. But I tell you, my people, a lot of people have unhealthy attachment to their exes. I have seen ladies who have left their men. Some of them are not fully divorced, but they can easily pass for like divorced couples because, they have not been together for a while. They don't even live together anymore, but they're still attached to the dude. You know why? They're always struggling with grieving who they wanted, who they maybe believed him to be at the time of meeting up, at the time of courtship, at the time of marriage. You know how you be like, you believed that this is the person for me. This is my person. I will marry this guy in sickness and in health. I'll marry this guy in poverty and in wealth. I will marry this guy through all ages. We will raise a family together. We will grow old together. We will probably die together. And unfortunately, dude changes along the way. And they are feeling dazed and lost. And they cannot believe who they thought that they married. So it's the idea of that person that they are grieving. And they are grieving that person or the idea of that person so much so they do not want to attach to somebody else. In this, my friend's friend case, is a guy whose wife divorced. The guy did everything to keep the woman. The woman said, hell to the no. I'm divorcing your MF, your ASS. And she divorced him. And guess what? He refuses to let go. Mentally, emotionally, he's still having that unhealthy attachment. Believe it or not, if you should get together with this guy, if you get with this guy, the guy might even be smashing you with the idea of his ex in his head. Isn't that crazy? Just as someone who lost their wife or their spouse, let me say the spouse because it can be a woman or a man, and they get remarried. They lost them to death, and they get remarried, and they are not even like anytime they are with their current partner, they are always thinking about the one who passed on. That's the one they are missing. That's the one. May this never be your experience, and may it never be my experience. And amen to that. That said, unhealthy attachment exists when people have been together for a while, when people have had this notion of the idea of who this person is to them, or would be or should be. It's always difficult. It's a struggle to get completely detached from this person. But I tell you, if you are the one who is having the unhealthy attachment, knock it off right now. Knock it off. Knock it off. Unhealthy attachments are not good. It actually means that you need really a long-term therapy. You need therapy before you even get started on healing coaching. Healing coaching is counseling, right? Follow you up through your healing journey, check how you're doing, everything, make sure you're doing the right things, work an activity that suits your personality, your lifestyle, your availability, and your personal goals. But you see, the therapy unravels your life from the inside out, your relationship history, your relationship activities, and helps you to admit the reality of how things are, so that you're not numbing, coasting, pretending, deluded about what your reality is. Don't forget, there's what is called borderline syndrome. Some people have that borderline syndrome, which is, again, another way of saying unhealthy attachment. They don't want to be, someone has told me in confidence that they fear to be alone. That's why they don't want to leave their bad relationship. The relationship was meant to be a marriage, but they didn't really have a civil marriage. They didn't have a civil officiate of what's it called? Marriage rights. They didn't have a civil marriage right. They didn't have a traditional marriage right. They didn't have any kind of marriage officiating. Nothing. There was no officiation of marriage between both of them, but they lived together as a married couple, and they have a child together. And she said, despite that this guy is treating her badly, not treating her the way she needs to be treated, I feel like the blame is on her and not on the guy, for reasons. However, she said she was scared of leaving the guy because she didn't want to be by herself. She felt like probably nobody wants her. She felt probably that she's too old to be single. She felt like them coupling, that's what's it called? Doing house together, or it's called doing house, right? Cohabiting or cohabitating was working for her. She felt like the bare minimum was okay for her. This is a well-educated woman. This is a professional. She's a career woman. She has her own money. She don't need anything from this guy. She just need him to be there. Like, she just has this unhealthy attachment to this guy. Did you know what happened? Years later, the guy left her. By this time, they were already together like 20 years. By the time the guy was leaving her for another woman, they were already together like 20 years. Baby, you know what? The Bible says that hell hath not seen fury as a woman scorned. This woman became very furious. She was ready to find the other woman and hurt her because she believed that the other woman is responsible for her man to disappear from her. Make it make sense. Is the other woman responsible for what happened? Are we dreaming? That's the thing. When people have an unhealthy attachment, they are not able to apportion blames rightly. Even they themselves are not taking accountability. They're not being honest with how they contributed to their own mess. They want to put it on the other guy. They want to blame everybody else but themselves. They're always looking around and looking out and looking away without looking in. It's tough. Make sure this isn't you. May I never come across anyone following this community as a part of this community, whether you're looking around, whether you're a dedicated member, whether you're a believer, a fan, or anything, or you're just an observer of my message and my community and my content. May I never hear that you're fighting your fellow woman over a man. It doesn't matter if the man did your traditional marriage, your court civil marriage, and your church wedding or religious wedding. It doesn't matter, okay? The other woman has nothing to do with you. She's also a woman. She needs to be loved. She needs attention. She needs what you need. She wants what you want. A friend said to me recently, he's a guy, and this guy, he is going through his thing, right? He's going through his thing. And he says to me, when I was with my woman, my wife, she complained so much about my inadequacies with being romantic, showing up for her romantically, celebrating anniversaries, birthdays, and special events, Mother's Day, moments. I never truly understood what she was saying because I provided for the family. And I worked hard so that my family don't lack anything. And I made sure my family don't lack anything. I did everything I felt was my responsibility to do, but it was not enough. She said, he admitted that when he finally left the marriage and working on maybe navigating life outside of the marriage or post divorce or post separation, not divorce, post separation, he got into a few relationships with new women who demanded the same thing that his wife had demanded, that he thought were not fair, right? And then he came to the realization that every woman wants the same thing. So this is where I'm trying to make the correlation and connection that indeed every woman wants the same thing. That's the whole essence of picking the person you love, the person you want, the person you prefer. Did I say love, want, prefer? If you pick your person, you're intentional about this person, you will understand who they are and how they interact, whether romantic interaction, bare minimum interaction, whatever it is. You're able to give them the grace of allowing them to do what they find suitable or comfortable or easy for them while you sit and receive. And then it shouldn't sway you nor deter you from doing your own. If you're the kind of person that do extra, you do the most. You like to take care of everything. You like to plan things, plan dates, plan vacation, plan surprises, do all these things, romantic stuff, gestures, what have you, right? That doesn't stop you from doing any of those. It's just you understanding your partner. This is who they are. You give them the grace. You accept them for who they are. You don't judge them. You don't, criticize them, knock them off, or try to sabotage what you guys have because you're looking around you and seeing what other people are maybe posting or doing or not doing, especially with these days that couples always want to do couple contents. If your partner is not down for such a thing, they don't like all the social media attention or validation, and you begin to freak out like, oh, you got the worst deal. Your friends got the better deal because their own partner is down for whatever, right? You have to pick the one you love. so that whatever they are not down for, you're okay with it. I mean, I'm not saying it will make you the happiest, but at the same time, I'm saying you're not going to kill them for it, right? And let me reiterate, never ever pick a fight with another woman. The other woman has got nothing to do with you. They owe you nothing. You don't know them. You shouldn't know them. And if you should know them, perhaps make friends with them and see how that goes. Because if you're a smart woman, you're going to make friends with the other woman. If maybe really like the guy, you make friends. Find a way to make friends with the other woman. I'm not going to give you the tea. Look for your friends who believe in what I just said and try that technique and see how that goes. There are various techniques that can be tried. That is one of them. Okay? So, moving forward, what is it going to be for you? Tell me. I want to hear. And if there's any particular subject you want me to talk about or expatiate or analyze, discuss, put it in the comment section. Okay?